Christopher, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Listeners of viewers that tune in this interview, they can see you in your latest project, Prisoner's Daughter. I watched it last night. I liked it. I went online and I read a couple reviews on it and everything. The film festivals love this movie. What's your thoughts on all this?
Oh yeah, I mean the Toronto Film Festival, that was like my first, film festival actually. And it was so awesome, like getting to meet like a lot of fans and like doing the red carpet and everything. But the screenings were so awesome because it was like in concert halls. I think it was screened like a few times, and it was like 3,000 people and it was so cool to see it like fully done because that was the first time me, Brian, and Kate and everybody were able to see the fully done movie. And we loved it so much because we didn't know, what it was gonna look like. And yeah, we were like so amazed. And the people, it was so cool because we were like in the balcony and like you could hear like everybody like like audibly laughing through the movie and then audibly crying at the end of the
Yeah.
movie and stuff. So yeah, TIFF was awesome, and I think people are really gonna love this movie.
How would you describe this movie to people?
I think it's a very beautiful, like dark, dramatic film that deals with like family struggles and like family dynamics. And
Hmm.
I think that's part of what's so good about the movie is like I think a lot of people, I mean anybody could really find something and relate to it in this movie, honestly. And I think that's why a lot of people really can connect to it and like get emotional and stuff.
So we see you in the film as Ezra. Tell us a bit about the audition process. I'm kind of curious about this. How did you land this role?
Yeah, so I got the audition and I had to record myself and I got the script. And when I read the script, like that was amazing. Like that's what really drew me to the film. Like the script originally, like it's so good, the storyline. Like I really loved it. Um, and like I love the rawness of it. And so I sent
Hmm.
an audition. I sent a tape in, and like a month later, Catherine called me back, and after some time, I got the part. And then I found out Kate and Brian was in
Yeah.
it, and that was so awesome. So yeah, that was the process.
How did you go about approaching this character, and how would you describe him?
Yeah. So um, Ezra, he's a very like smart, funny teenager, and he's very sarcastic as well.
Yeah.
And like I really tried to put myself in the shoes of Ezra and like what he'd be going through, in terms of like, his family and like what's going on. And also like Ezra, like that's what I really liked about him is he's very complex and like there's a lot of
Mm.
layers to him and like he goes through so much of the movie, like a lot, like a short amount of time. And he's a very strong character in terms of like dealing with it. He's like kind of like the light and the darkness almost. But yeah, I think Ezra's a really cool character in the movie.
Mm. You mentioned the layers and everything we see him go throughout the film. How would you describe his journey throughout the film?
His journey is pretty intense because like he has a hard life off the bat, but he's
Yeah.
filling a role of like because there's no like he doesn't have a dad or like a grandfather. I mean, he finds out, right? But um, so he's like kind of like off the bat, like he's fun and everything, and then there's these events that happen, and he's like it's it's a very like hard journey because he goes through like violence and like
Yeah.
emotional depth in terms of like and even not even just family, which is humongous problems, but like at school he's getting really picked on. But I think it's a very cool journey because he does get tougher in terms of like mentally as well, but also like he learns to stand up for himself and not just let people walk over him. And I think it's really cool when he does finally get to do that. And I just think that his journey, it's a it's a very hard one, but at the
Yeah.
end it kind of like pays off and like lasts with him. Yeah.
Any challenges playing this character? Did you try to do any research also like how you wanted to play him?
Well, what's cool is I was doing boxing like a few months
Uh,
before the movie. Like I didn't even
yeah.
know like before the audition. Like I was just like starting to do that. And
Yeah.
I mean I love boxing now. It's like that's my main sport. And so that really helped with the movie because like I knew what I was doing like a little bit in terms of like, the fighting people and like doing
Yeah.
boxing training with Ernie and like all that stuff. So that was actually really cool. But like yeah, so like mainly I really was like reading the script and like was thinking like, wow, like what would this guy like this 12-year-old kid be feeling, right?
Mm.
And like he just obviously you can tell he's very funny and like so I just I put it to life and like it's a very heavy movie, but like me, Kate, and Brian, like the entire time we were just like like after filming, of course, like between takes, we were just like laughing and having a good time. So yeah.
You mentioned Kate and Brian. Kate plays your mom, Maxine. Brian is your grandfather, as we find out. How would you describe the relationship between that character, your character, and now them two?
Yeah. So I mean, Ezra obviously loves his mom.
Yeah.
Um, and he's very curious about Max because I mean he's very like you can kind of tell like it's kind of suspicious. But the relationship is very strong for like somebody that
Mhm.
just comes into his life. But like he yeah, like Ezra and his family are very close. And like, when he learns about Brian and everything, like they become like a very strong family. And I think that the bond is made very fast. And I think that, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like
Yeah.
it's a part of what makes, the ending very strong. And I mean, like working with them was so good. Like Brian, he's an amazing actor. It's like a masterclass on set with them.
Mhm.
And like when I was in the scenes with him, like honestly, like it felt like like Brian was my actual grandfather. Like it was very good. And with Kate, like she has so much emotion in her performance, and I think it really brought out my performance as well. And she got me a kitten as a gift at the
Wow.
end of the movie. Like in real, yeah, she got me a real kitten as a gift, which is pretty amazing. So thank you, Kate. And then Catherine, the director, she's amazing as well. Like she really has a vision for like the movie, but she also like really allowed us to explore characters a lot. So
Mhm.
the whole experience was awesome.
Awesome. What do you hope, like, when the viewers tune in to watch the movie? What do you hope they remember mostly about your performance?
Huh. That's a good question. Well, first off, I think I really want people to, relate to this movie, which like I said, like I think they will be
Yeah.
able to, but um I mean I think people like I hope people like it. Um like Catherine and Brian were saying, like, Catherine was saying like at TIFF once that, you know, with Brian and Kate, they're very like, big actors and they I mean like Brian literally told me like that I was pulling my own. So, I think it's very cool and I'm just happy with the performance. But I think everybody did really good and I hope people like it. Yeah.
The movie gets released June 30th. When does it release on digital? Any idea?
I don't know about that, but tomorrow it's coming out in theaters everywhere. So yeah, pretty cool.
Amazing. Christopher, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. This was great.
Yeah, thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you.